Meski dirimu bukan milikku.
Different understanding. This video shows the understanding of a different teaching that not many people know. If you do not agree with the understanding that will be presented below, then use it as an addition to your knowledge, that there are other people who have a different understanding or knowledge. The knowledge or teachings are realistic. Do not believe in creation myths, for example, a universe that emerged from a cosmic egg, or a universe created by the super figure of an old man with a long white beard. When it is said that an all-powerful super person, or smart designer, created the universe, it raises a very clear question as to who then created or designed the super person. And if the super person has always existed, then isn't it more believable on the contrary, that it is the universe that has always existed, and is always changing? Formed and destroyed, then formed again and destroyed again. It is not known when it began to form, because it's been so long. It can be said that the universe is without a beginning and without an end, like a circular line that has no starting point and no end point. It is the same with this universe whose boundaries cannot be known. Therefore it is said to be infinite. There's no point in knowing these things. Speculative, useless, does not lead to enlightenment. The teachings mentioned above do not teach about a super almighty and omniscient person, for whatever reason allows his own creation to be tormented in hell forever. If this super almighty person knew beforehand that much of his creation was destined to burn in hellfire forever, then why is it still creating so much suffering and disaster in this world? Namely natural disasters and accidents that cause suffering, in the form of floods, landslides, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, earthquakes, widespread forest fires, traffic accidents, aviation accidents and others. It's hard to believe that a super high person who is loving and forgiving is also jealous, vindictive, unfair, unforgiving, sadistic, and creates a lot of disasters. But the teaching referred to in this video has the answer. This teaching reminds us not to pay attention to speculations such as an almighty person and so on, since the speculations are in the end, as said before, not useful. Like the story of someone who was shot with a poisoned arrow, who didn't want to pull out the arrow until he knew who shot the arrow, why he was shot, and what kind of poison was in the arrow. Very different is the case with a doctor who is well aware of his duty, who then pulls out the poisoned arrow and treats the wound for the safety of one's soul, by not answering the person's questions that are not in time. This story of a man who was shot shows us how to free himself from suffering and not answer speculative questions. Therefore, understanding the teachings referred to in this video reminds we should think more and focus on what is important, namely the practice of heeding the non-speculative truth. The teachings in question do not threaten anyone with eternal punishment of hell. Such threats may have been necessary in ancient times to maintain human civilization, and were also carried out in conjunction with the promise of heaven's rewards. This approach is also carried out in attracting people to join certain belief groups, with the threat of eternal punishment and reward. This teaching does not accept the concept of a super jealous person who judges their own creations just because they choose a different belief. Know that practically, That is the reality in this world, that all civilized nations respect and guarantee freedom of thought and practice of religion, as enshrined in Article 18 of the United Nations Charter. And furthermore, torture is prohibited by all civilized nations on Earth. So how could a certain person who, naturally, created us all, be any less civilized? Therefore, the preacher referred to in this video finds the threat of eternal torment in hell quite hard to believe. For example, who will send or allow other beings to be burned in hellfire forever? Take a regular lighter. Light it in the palm of your hand. Can you endure the pain for just a few seconds? Can you light the match in the palm of someone's hand for just 1 minute and watch the person scream in pain? Can you do that to someone forever? The cruelty is beyond our imagination. Furthermore, if in your power, you could stop that immense and endless suffering, wouldn't you do it? Would a healthy and rational person not do it? There can never be any justification for merciless cruelty for whatever reason and circumstance may be. The teachings referred to in this video never use any threat or attempt to force anyone to accept it. It accepts freedom of thought, and recognizes that not everyone can accept what is proclaimed, and people progress differently, and will choose different paths for themselves. The bearers of this teaching prefer to explain their teachings in a logical and reasonable way, and want people to understand and realize the emptiness, truth, that exists for themselves without fear of the punishment that could befall them. The teaching in question is not a teaching about threats or rewards, but about knowledge and understanding. In terms of divinity it is written, At the ajadang abutang akatang asamkatang, which means, something that is not born, not incarnated, not created and the absolute. So in this case, the Supreme Godhead is something impersonal, anatta, which cannot be personified and which cannot be described in any form. But with the existence of the Absolute, the unconditioned, asamkata, then the conditioned human, samkata, can attain liberation from the cycle of existence, samsara, by means of meditation. Once again, if you do not agree with the understanding that has been conveyed in this video, then use this as an addition to your knowledge, that there are other people who have a different understanding or knowledge. That is the short delivery of this video entitled Different Knowledge. May be useful. Until we meet again in another video on this channel, which conveys the right knowledge, plus an interesting bonus video. Hopefully, besides being useful, hopefully it will be interesting to watch. You can find this channel on YouTube under the name Hermanahadi. Many thanks to you viewers of this video. May you be healthy, live long, happy, love to do good and eager to live life with a peaceful heart. Peace be upon you.
Meski dirimu bukan milikku, namun hatiku tetap untukmu. Berjuta pilihan di sisiku, takkan bisa menggantikanmu. Walau badai menerpa, cintaku takkan ku lepas. Berikan kesempatan untuk membuktikan ku mampu jadi yang terbaik, dan masih jadi yang terbaik. Ku akan menanti, meski harus penantian panjang. Ku akan tetap setia menunggumu. Ku tahu kau hanya untukku. Biarlah waktuku habis oleh penantian ini, hingga kau percaya betapa besar cintaku padamu. Ku tetap menanti. Walau badai menerpa, cintaku takkan ku lepas. Berikan kesempatan untuk membuktikan ku mampu jadi yang terbaik, dan masih jadi yang terbaik. Ku akan menanti, meski harus penantian panjang. Ku akan tetap setia menunggumu. Ku tahu kau hanya untukku. Biarlah waktuku habis oleh penantian ini, hingga kau percaya betapa besar cintaku padamu. Ku tetap menanti. Ku akan menanti, meski harus penantian panjang. Ku akan tetap setia menunggumu. Ku tahu kau hanya untukku. Biarlah waktuku habis oleh penantian ini, hingga kau percaya betapa besar cintaku padamu. Ku tetap menanti. Cintaku padamu, cintaku padamu. Ku tetap menanti.